Greetings, family. Welcome back to my channel. I have a brief update coming to you from the continent of Africa as some recent visa restrictions imposed by the United States are creating some polarizing discussions. Family, the United States apparently has been employing a tactic to influence the integrity of elections in Africa. You know, if you read research papers and textbooks talking about the development of the African political process, you will find that the first world countries treat Africa like a pet project, and they have been observing the political development of Africa like a story that can be manipulated along the way. Okay, but in this case, what America has been doing is threatening to impose visa restrictions on anyone that is deemed to be a democracy underminer. All right, a democracy underminer in this case would be an individual that uses brute force, violence, intimidation to influence the political affiliation of persons in a jurisdiction, persons that would try to rig the election, that would try to sabotage the counting of votes, sabotage voting machines, etc. All of these persons would fall in the category of a democracy underminer. Alright, and so in this case, most recently, America has decided to impose visa restrictions on democracy underminers in Ghana, and they are doing it months ahead of the upcoming general elections in Ghana. Okay, and so what they have said is that anybody that tries to influence or try to exert undue influence on the election before, during, or after the election would be subject to a visa restriction. Alright, so all of these individuals that try to rig the election would find that they will not be accepted for a U.S. visa. Right? And so I thought it was exclusive tonight to Ghana, but I recently found out that America used the same strategy in the recent Nigerian elections, and they employed the same tactic. They threatened to impose visa restrictions on anyone who basically engages in political mischief during or after the election. Alright. There are mixed reactions from persons on the continent, but I find that the overwhelming sentiment is that this is helpful to the political process. Persons are saying that even now, during the campaigning, there are threats of violence. Persons are anticipating that violence will be employed at some stage during the election. And persons are also saying that there are individuals who create havoc during election cycle and they retreat to their second home in America or the UK and what have you. And so persons believe that this is a leveling of the playing field. You will no longer be able to create mischief and havoc and then go on vacation in Arizona. You will have to stay in Ghana, you will have to stay in Nigeria if it is found that you engaged in this activity and it can be proven. Initially, it seemed to me that they were making a broad restriction on the country, but after it was clarified, I don't really know if it is appropriate, but I think it's something that's helpful. I think it's helpful. I think it's actually appropriate because when you think about it, sometimes external pressure is one of the only resources of the oppressed. Okay, sometimes external pressure is the last resort and the only recourse. for the oppressed. Sometimes you have to enlist the aid of persons who your countrymen respect. Because let's be honest. In the third world, if we being honest, persons treat traveling to America like traveling to Disneyland. You know, persons really place a lot of significance in the ability to travel to America. And so dangling the fate of their visa in their face is going to be a pretty effective influence. You know, persons want to go to America and go to Denny's. They want to go to J.C. Penney. Um, they want to go to the Balenciaga store. Family. So they are only using our predisposition against us. And if they're doing it to our benefit, I say so be it. But at the end of the day, I don't believe we should be so easily figured out and so easily manipulated. Um, they know about the visa, their family. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below about all these dynamics. One love.